Super Rugby, folks. Crusaders in their opening game of the season against the Chiefs. And it's the Chiefs who come away with not just a win, but a bloody bonus point win. 31 points to 10. We're going to go through some key events and stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts on the game, man. But I know some people were saying the Chiefs side was stacked going into this one, but who saw 31-10 coming? I'll be impressed if anybody did, but that was especially a hell of a second half. I mean, first half was big Crusaders scrum to start things off. It kind of seems that's par for the course. The Crusaders pack is going to front up this year. Ominous, basically, from that penalty. They miss it, though. There's a little bit of rust. Morgan misses his first shot. D-Mac misses his first shot. Cullen Grace, unfortunately, goes off injured, which is a real pity because that guy's had his issues with injuries, but yeah, it lasted about 10 minutes, which was pretty disappointing. First points of the game, believe it or not, for Super Rugby was a drop goal. Drop goal from Richie Mo'unga. So good skill set to have in the bank if he's going to go to a World Cup later on in the year, but that's still a long way off. But 3-0. 3-0 to the Crusaders early. First point on the board, been a bit tit for tat, kind of both sides feeling each other out. First game of the season, kind of to be expected. 15 minutes, though, we did see what was maybe a hint of things to come because the Chiefs started to put some pressure on the Crusaders, but up until this point, the Crusaders' defense is able to hold. And when the Chiefs cop the ball up, the Crusaders go down the other end and put a bunch of pressure on themselves. Sam Cane ends up getting yellow carded for a cynical kind of breakdown infringement on turnover ball, and the Crusaders punish immediately. They tap the ball, go through some phases, and eventually they send David Harvey over for the try. So it's 10 points to 0. The Crusaders are up. Sam Cane's still got like another 8 or 7 minutes to go in the bin. Home crowd, probably pretty happy with what they've seen. By no means a sellout. But yeah, it's kind of going as you would expect. But what's different from what you might have expected is that's the end of the Crusaders scoring. They're at home and they are kept scoreless for the rest of the game. D-Mac has a shot at goal on 24 minutes during the yellow card. He's miles off target, but at least kills another minute of the Sam Cane yellow card. But it's not looking like it's going to go that flash for the Chiefs. But to their credit, they do come back into it. And you could kind of feel as Sam Cane comes back on, Chiefs are starting to build pressure. Like, they need a try. They need a try for all the work they've been putting in and the pressure they've been putting the Crusaders under. Like, if you don't get a try, it's just a big psychological victory for the Crusaders that they're not going to be broken in this game. The Chiefs, up until this point, have gone half an hour without scoring any points. But they got it. They got it before halftime. Shooter, old Sean Stevenson, with the line break, man. I mean, he had a great line break. Weber had a good carry. Havili did well, I think, to stop Weber's attack. But, I mean, eventually the Chiefs' pressure comes to a try. I mean, with advantage, Brodie Retallick's able to go over to make it 10 points to 7 before halftime. And, honestly, I think that one is potentially a turning point in the game. If the Chiefs don't get that one, I'm not sure they mount the same effort they were able to in the second half. Maybe, who knows? None of us know. 37 minutes, though, the Crusaders... And again, what's maybe another turning point is they have a line out like 7 meters out from Chiefs line. They opt for the maul. They get the backs in there. And it looks to have gone over for initial try, but they TMO it. And Cody Taylor loses his feet and his bind at the back of that maul. So it's an obstruction call and kind of a get out of jail for the Chiefs. So finishes 10 points to 7 at halftime. Still very much game on. Chiefs had been well behind, but have come right back into it. Positions 50-50. The Chiefs have edged the territory. They've had 3 clean breaks to the Crusaders 1, and they've had more run meters, 234 to 172. So the Chiefs have been good value for their one try, but they're still behind on the scoreboard. Second half, though, it's mostly the Chiefs in terms of genuine opportunities. Bunch of phases on 46 minutes, kind of comes to nothing, but eventually they were able to kind of make that pressure at last kind of turn into points. Weber, again, and he was sharp, man. He had a line break. The Chiefs go 7 phases and Sam Cane. So maybe make up for that wee yellow card he'd conceded earlier. He's able to go over a try. It was a great line when the Crusaders guys, I don't think were expecting Kane to carry there. So 14 points to 10. Suddenly the Chiefs have got a sneaky 4-point away lead. And then on 58 minutes, the Chiefs kind of get another bit of a boon because Ethan Blackadder ends up getting yellow carded. And here's one of the situations where we see this new law in action where it's like if it's yellow card worthy, they will just show the yellow and then do the rest of the review off the field to check if Ethan Blackadder's kind of shoulder to the head hit was going to be worthy of more. So we don't get to see that part of the action, so we don't know what the TMO decided. Well, we know what the TMO decided, that it was a yellow, but we didn't really get to see the reasoning behind it. So it's kind of that that balance of, do you want to keep the game going faster or do you want to be fully informed as a fan? So Super Rugby's going with keeping the game faster. So to be fair, in the lead up to that, like Nankivell had gone close, the Chiefs had been put under a ton of pressure. So the Crusaders' defence holds, but because of that bit of foul play, it comes back for a penalty. And the Chiefs do this new thing, man, which a lot of teams are doing in Northern Hemisphere as well. It's from that tap play 5 metres out. They don't just truck it up straight up the guts. They tap it, they go wide, and it's not clean from the Chiefs. Like, the ball hits the grass, but Josh Ioane, who's come on, he looked bloody good. Really sharp. He knows he can't grab the ball, so he just kind of bats it from the ground with his hand to get the ball wide, and Nankivell is able to go over on the hour mark. So, man, suddenly we're 21 points to 10 up for the Chiefs, and they've been bossing the game, man. It's a really well-deserved lead. DMAC extends the lead a few minutes later with a penalty to make it 24-10. So the Crusaders need 2 converted tries just to get it back to even, and then they kick the bloody restart out on the full. So they're looking a little bit out of sorts of the Crusaders. Chiefs then go on to score probably the try of the game. The Ratima one on 70 minutes. Man, it's highlight-worthy level. That's why you watch Super Rugby. It's a scrum. Josh Ioane with a dummy. I think he sells it to Havili. He goes through the gap, gets it to Ratima. Ratima beats a couple of defenders on the way to line. I forget who's the one who he fends off to make that tackle. But man, 31-10. The Chiefs just all over the Crusaders in the second half. So that's the way the scoreline finishes. And yeah, there could have been more points. Chiefs had a chance at the end, but yeah, 31-10. Bonus point win for the Chiefs. What a way to start the season. Run meters finished 396 to 626. Chiefs are dominant. Possessions 52-48, and territory is 59-41 to the Chiefs. Second half was 61-39 territory, mostly played down the Crusaders' end. A lot of kicking, 43-36. Crusaders having to put a bit more boot to ball. But not just kind of like, games of force-back stuff. Turnovers conceded, though, is an early season game, 20-16. I don't think you will see the Crusaders give away 20 turnovers conceded at any other point during the season. Might be wrong, but I would be surprised because that's a pretty high number. Clean breaks, 12-1. Defenders beaten, 48-16. The Chiefs were just sharper. And it's reflected in the numbers, man. The Crusaders' tackling percentage is 80%, which is dead low for them. They had to make 190 tackles. The Chiefs were at 89%, which is pretty bloody good. It could be a bit higher, but man, that's a lot better than the Crusaders' numbers. 130 tackles from them. Sever Reese makes 4 defenders beaten, 40-odd meters. Christie makes 23 tackles, which is a bundle, or he misses 5. But man, Sean Stevenson, 149 meters, 3 clean breaks, 9 defenders beaten, sharp as a knife. Nankivell off overseas soon, but man, he was good as well. 88 meters, 3 clean breaks, 6 defenders beaten. Retallick 13 from 15 tackles plus his try. Weber looked sharp. Ioane came on and looked sharp. DMAC, maybe Ioane plays himself into the 10 jersey, but DMAC was playing well. Yeah, this was a big time Chiefs effort. The Chiefs have got the Moana Pacifica boys next, so it'll be interesting to see if they switch the squad up or they go for consistency. And the Crusaders have got southern rivals, the Highlanders. Highlanders fans, I would say the Crusaders are going to be pretty fired up for that one. So we will see. But yeah, first game of Super Rugby's in the bag. And the reigning champions lost at home. Didn't score for basically 3/4 of the game. So crazy stuff. You guys have any thoughts on the game? Take care, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon.